Down in a minute. Grab one car out of number 2 for that.
Hello, rail friends. How's everybody today? Tony, good to see you. And couldn't make it to Decatur today for the Rail Fest. There at the Decatur Railroad Depot. Decatur's a fantastic place to visit. But Mrs. S is having a holiday party. And I have to be home promptly at 5:30 p.m. Not 5:40, 5:30. So Decatur, to go over and see everybody, just couldn't get fit into the schedule today. Caleb and his group, great group of rail friends. Sorry, but if any of you guys are on currently, hello, Decatur, Alabama. Here from Chattanooga, Tennessee. And if you've not been here with us before, we are at the south end of the DeButts yard. It is the first Saturday of 2026. It is 61 degrees. And it is peaceful, quiet, beautiful, incredible, and just awesome. Good to see everyone. If it's your first time, or like Tony, his 450th time, everybody's welcome to the channel. Turn on the chat. If you see something exciting, type it in. If you're trackside, let us know where you are. Let us know what you're seeing. If you're in the house watching your favorite game, you're at the bar, rooting for your favorite game, having that Coca-Cola, well, it's a fantastic day for everybody. I know it's a sad weekend for the Georgia fans. Y'all know Chuck and his team got beat by Ole Miss. Probably be a few days before he starts to talk again, so if he comes on, y'all be gentle, because Chuck's working through it. There's work. There's the Georgia Bulldogs. And someplace in there, the rest of the world comes afterwards. And Charlotte is up there first. So everybody, we're going to swing back to the yard. We're going to do a 360 of the area just so you get a lay of the land. But just welcome, sit back, relax, have lunch, have dinner, have breakfast. I just had breakfast. And it's just kind of a slow day, no schedule. The only thing on my schedule for the entire day was at the house arrival at 5:30 p.m. And no, I will not be late. And while we're here, and we are in the UTC parking lot, for those of you who've not been with us before, fantastic place to rail fan. The two closest tracks here go back to the fuel racks. So if we catch a train, if the trains are coming in from the north end, typically, but not always, will it happen this way, but the trains coming down from Knoxville, Cincinnati, and up from Atlanta that terminate here, they'll come in at the north end, come through the lot about 5 miles, or come through the yard at about 5 miles an hour until they get here. And then sometimes, depending on, they'll start to break that train down. We'll see them go back and forth, push part of it back, grab the DPU, work their way over, go up to the derails, where our two flashing lights, blue on each side, the yellow derailers across the tracks, and they'll get authorization to proceed into the fuel rack. They cannot pass that point until they have that permission. And then the next few rails are moving in and out of the track, where currently we have one train that's been dropped off, and the autonomous locomotives have not picked it up, pushed it back, and broke it down yet. Or it maybe has been built and is ready to go out, and our outbound locomotives have not attached to it.
108 p.m. Over.
We do have the scanner on, so you're going to hear CSX and NS. You're going to listen to work as it's going on here in the yard. And you're going to hear the different instructions and information and the autonomous locomotives backing and working and PTI being dispatched. All of it. So, anybody have any questions? Please, shout them out. You see your favorite locomotive go by, shout out what model it is. If you see something particular, like last night, we had a full brow -9. Thanks to Nate, he gave us a heads up, and we knew before it got there. So, thanks to Nate, I managed to navigate onto the brow of that locomotive, and we got to see that full white face. Very, very unique and unusual catch. A full white brow and a DC-9, -9. There goes somebody with a yellow vest that waved. EPB operations over behind me. Erlanger Medical Complex and Heliport off to your right. UTC soccer fields, and there's all kinds of people here today on the fields. Might be playing touch football, I'm not 100% sure. Here comes a number of folks out of the rail yard. We do have the bird cam on. For those of you not familiar with the bird cam, the bird cam is on the W&A subline at the 122.8. Well, there's all kinds of folks coming. Everybody's waved so far that went past here. It is incredibly bright out today. If you follow that road back, all the way back will take you over to the fuel racks. And off to your left, there's the Erlanger Medical Complex.
4, start this 1 step. I'll be swinging this stuff out of 8 to 4. Alright, copy that.
And as you can see, here in the UTC soccer fields, and we are in a UTC public parking lot here. This is gate 5 of the DeButts yard. Or I should say the entrance to the DeButts yard here at gate 5. Not sure if the game's beginning or the game's over. Looks like we're having a little group huddle. Whole lot of orange shirts out there.
NF 8 1 8 full back protection out. NF 8 6 8 full back protection over out.
The DeButts yard is currently the second largest classification yard of its type in the NS system. The hump yard is down at the other end. Like I said, we are at the south end. For those of you familiar with Coffey's Cliff, you head on down there and you will find Coffey's Cliff several miles down on the right. 356 days to Christmas. Tony, we got a lot of counting to do between now and then. I hear an ambulance. Going to presume it's on its way to the Erlanger complex. Hope everybody... Oh, no, there it goes up over the overpass.
Side on the north end of the you want to head this way up, hurting shortly. I don't mind. Yes, sir. We appreciate it.
Like I said, that is the yard that you're listening to, as well as you'll hear CSX from here. Over on the far right side are the pass-through tracks all the way across. There's 2 NS pass-through tracks and a CSX pass-through track. There is a control switch just behind that train car all the way to the right that we can't quite see from here. And look what just popped out that we heard dinging. Switcher slug, a Switcher NX slug. That is one of the autonomous locomotives. There is the gentleman that runs it. As you can see there on the front of him, the control belt with all the little toggles. That operate that locomotive. Do you see? He just touched his belt. You heard the bell begin to ring, and there it moves. An SD40-2. And that locomotive that you're looking at, or that you just saw, Norfolk Southern 6402, is a rebuilt EMD SD40-3 road locomotive that originated as an older SD40-2 series unit and then was later upgraded and renumbered into the 6400 series for Norfolk Southern's roster or list of locomotives. And if John was on, he'd probably let you know that Norfolk Southern has taken some of these older SD42 units from predecessors such as Conrail and upgraded them with modern electronics, cabs, etc. So here he comes back. Let's see where he's headed. Throwing another switch, a Slug 861, a traction and power unit. Basically it's a locomotive without a cab. Like I said, you are listening to everyone here in the yard, the towers, train crews, here on the scanner. Our next pair of locomotives there, they do have a train crew on board as our autonomous locomotive 6204 pushes back.
350 need to come to south end. Ain't got no guns in it.
From the fuel rack, you heard? You can see the blue flashing lights.
Oh, that's one.
And the derailleurs there, the yellow ones.
Southeast derail. NF 818 constant ready. Flat protection on. Out.
And they are waiting for permission to proceed back to the fuel rack. Like I said, keep your eye. They're on the lower left corner. And that's where the derailer is.
check it. South end 7, couple up. Come down, off.
As you saw, the derailleur released. He's verifying it, and our locomotive is returning. Norfolk Southern 3280, an EMD SD40-2 road locomotive in the roster there for Norfolk Southern. Originally built as Southern 3280. So there's a piece of history. 6-axle, 3,000 horsepower diesel electric freight locomotive used for freight service. Original owner of that locomotive goes all the way back to the Southern Railway system, and it was 3280 for them as well, made back in the early 70s. He's going to reverse back to the fuel racks. And there he makes his bend off to the left as he goes underneath the, I believe, 3rd Street overpass, if I'm not mistaken. And he's going back to the fuel racks. Now, where earlier you saw, and if you look to the left track, you can see the yellow derail is still on the 1st track, and the blue flashing light still flashing on the left side. There to the right, the blue flashing light is not flashing at this moment, and as you can see, the yellow derail has opened and flipped to the right as you look at it, allowing our locomotive to reverse back into the fuel rack over there as he passes through underneath the overpass.
618, brake recovery complete. Ready. Full back protection off. Parking brake. Command in progress. Out.
And looks like we are playing a little football.
F 818, parking release. Out.
Everybody's helping referee there, it looks like.
Reset safety timeout. Cup break from bell tag. Pullback protection. Out. Tilt timeout. Out.
We are going to be here today to 4:45 Eastern Standard Time. And at that point, we must leave so we're not late
Recovery complete.
to get home to Mrs. S's holiday party that we're sponsoring at the house.
From Belfast. Pullback protection. Out. Recovery complete. Conscious. Pullback protection off. Out.
Let's see if we happen to get the derailer popping back on. You can see the left one there, it's yellow in color. You can see the left one across the track and the blue light to the right, the blue light to the left flashing.
Alright, camera come up, receiving 7. That's correct. S-E-V-E-N.
In case you aren't sure how to spell 7, it's S-E-V-E-N, as you just heard. That looks like a PTI car coming. Actually, I should say a PTI van. Nope. Unless it's new and has not gotten its logo yet. Over there to the far right is the NS. Actually two tracks for the pass-through, where they just go through the yard. Most of the time you'll hear them stop and change crews over there. And if you hear 133.9, that's the defect detector on the CSX track over on the far right side, all the way across by the trees. And for those of you kind of familiar with the area or ever out, we hear them talk, or when you hear them talk about 23rd Street, if you continue down around that corner where you see the pair of locomotives tied down there, if you proceed around that corner, you'll go past the National Cemetery and you'll come out to the far end where the diamond is, where NS and CSX cross by 23rd Street. So that locomotive, or those locomotives sitting there quietly, just kind of taking in this beautiful day. So we spin back, get a little of an idea.
618, brake recovery complete. Consist, pullback protection off. Brake fully charged. Out.
How far across here it is?
Off your handbrake. I'll be ready. Marty, everything he does.
Focus your attention. They're on the right hand side in a moment. we have an inbound train coming in from the south end of the yard. It would appear.
Appreciate it.
Union Pacific, 8663. Union Pacific 8663, the locomotive you just saw leading that, an SD70 ACE road locomotive, part of a 2008 high horsepower units used in heavy freight services across the UP system. So, SD70 ACE leading this train into the yard. As he passes by us.
You alright?
Coming in the south end.
Real lift track 2, please. Located. There's no hot in. Fine. Hold back protection. Out. 8, 6, Sam, you said on 7. 7 on 7.
Oh, check out this message. Forever and always love, A and C. And then you see the A and C symbol.
Stand by. Line up good down here.
Q2, Colt, Mama Bear, how are you guys today? North Alabama Rail Productions, welcome. I let you start the day here and I'm going to finish the day here. Good to see everybody. Thanks for jumping on today. While the teams are playing over here to the left, the trains are working over here to the right.
Hey, Carol, 130, okay. Alright, draw down, cut off, up the east side. Got on, down the ramp under the hump of the shell.
And as you look at NS 6180, it is an EMD SD40-2, originally owned by Norfolk and Western, and now it's in NS service after the consolidation of NS taking over the N&W, the Norfolk and Western. So, Lyric 6, a former road locomotive. Built by Electromotive Division of General Motors in June of 1978. Just to give you an idea how old that locomotive is. With 3,000 horsepower.
Over. Go ahead, over. Can you call the rip track when you get out? Okay, bro.
And behind it, Norfolk Southern number 865, a non-powered yard slug used by Norfolk Southern, built from an older Elco locomotive, and it's mainly used here in the yard for hump and yard service. It is, as we had spoken earlier, a traction unit, traction and power unit, to serve or help the locomotives, and it draws power from its mother. So it's a mother and slug there in front of you. Generally hooked up to an SD42 is normally the combination you see. Here comes the pickup truck we see all the time with the cones on the front, or the orange cone on the front. And we got a wave. So, mother and slug combo sitting here in front of you.
7 call and clear at 4 p.m. YP number 2.
Basically an old locomotive, no longer with a cabin on it. It's kind of like cabin chassis with no cab, just the chassis. So, traction unit, and these locomotives spend the day working here in the yard. And earlier, as you saw the derailleur on our last train that went in, right about center screen, you see the blue flashing light to the right. Directly across from us, the yellow rail, the derailleur, is now back up on the track where it was released earlier for our last set of locomotives to go on in the yard to fuel. So both tracks to the fuel yard, the derails are back up, and the blue light's back on. It's good to see everybody on today. We're just kind of chilling like villains here in the rail yard on this incredibly beautiful day. Oh my goodness. You see his lights are there in the top. Trying to see his camera. I think it's kind of their center window. Our pickup truck is back. Looks like we're going to do some switch arrangements. Oh, looks like we might be doing another one.
South end of 1-2. Same track cleared out. That's 21. House full of red. Yeah, I'll get it right now. Going south.
And there he puts up the blue flag. That restricts any traffic on that track beyond that point, as there are men working on that track down at the other end somewhere. Back to our yard working locomotive. everybody. We've got about 20 more minutes before we finish up here in the yard today. Mrs. S is having a big holiday function at the house, and we are on a time schedule today. So at 4:30 on the nose, we will have to end today's live. We will see you at the next crossing though tomorrow. Not sure where it is. Took me half the day to figure out to come to this one. By the time I figured it out, I was hungry. So we had breakfast at Track's End. Incredible breakfast as always. Daryl can cook up a breakfast there. Let me tell you. Oh boy. And then we made it here.
Planning for 29 F coming up to between Gene and Field.
Oh, 29F's early today, coming up to Sail Creek already, they said.
It's hard keeping up with the Joneses, especially Bert Jones. Bert increases.
And for those of you that have the bird cam on as well, we have a northbound NS. Looks like an empty coal drag coming our way, or an empty rock train coming north, passing the 128. We're at the 133. So, not a long distance away. 133.9. No, excuse me, 139.3. Bad math, I'm sorry. So 11 miles out from where we are. He looks like a pretty long one. He better hurry to get here before we have to go. That's 6180 awaits. I'm gonna guess his engineer. Here comes back our pickup truck with the orange cone.
Hey, go ahead. Got that 3. I'm gonna need an EOT for it. I'll be right with you. November 365, thanks. Thank you. Ronald, over. Hey, I'm out. Coming. Yes, sir. You're on. Now we're going, over. Outside of that number 3, number 4, you did there's only 20 cars there, so you're good for another 20. Four more stop.
Catch a ride. HTX Wiener, good to see you on today. Mama Bear, don't you work too hard. I should give you Rail Moments cards to hand out there at the register. There goes our combination unit with Slug back into the yard as he reverses back. Mama Bear hard at work. And we are winding down here. Hopefully we can catch that CSX train coming our way. Let's listen for the defect detector.
23, count 6, no.
As we listen to the yard communications.
21 out. Back up here, go back where you're on. Stand by.
As he reverses way back into the yard. You just barely see him there. Center screen. We are hoping our CSX northbound makes it before we have to start tearing down, which will be momentarily, as we have to arrive home on time today.
NF 8, 5, B, pull back in, push entry. Out. Next up, 41,
Now our northbound CSX train will come popping out over there. If he does not delay, we will get to see him before we have to pack and go. See the pigeons landing.
protection on. Out.
Got some smoke rising back there in the distance.
Over. Go ahead. Over. Alright, where about you located? Yeah, I need you on north end. Whenever you get the chance. Alright, anything over? No. Don't even bring anything. Over. Ready to make a move out of this, ready. Fuel rack 4, over. Head north, over. Alright, jump forward, track that. Copy that. Over. Down over. 3.9. That main.
It's a CSX train and then I'm packing and headed home.
It's fuel rack headed to the northeast.
See you soon. About plasticware? Yep, I saw that. Take care of it.
No.
You too. Bye. Everybody, that was Mrs. S making sure that I am on time for arriving back to the house, and you heard that defect detector. That is our CSX train. And as we wind down to our last few moments of our first live on a Saturday here in 2026.
Yeah, get in the north end of the cutoff, please.
Yes, sir. Hey. Well, I'm on a limited day because today's our holiday party. And it is slow. It's horribly slow. We're just catching my last CSX, and then we're shutting the live down. Comes our empty coal drag, 3385, 4746, and 3043 on the W&A sub pass through, headed to Wauhatchie.
CSX equipment defect detector milepost 133 pointer. No defects. No defects. Total X 43810 of mission. You better keep that on 501 North.
We can go as early as sunup. everybody, that was Casey. He said tell y'all hello. All right, we got to start wrapping up. Mrs. S has called to check on us. Casey's called to check on us. And we are all good.
You get a hold of that.
Well, everybody, it's been a good day. Matter of fact, it's just been a fantastic day. Beautiful, beautiful weather. Low 60s here on the first Saturday of January 2026 at the south end of the DeButts yard. As the autonomous locomotive makes its way back, looks like they're going to hook up to that train that's been sitting here all day and push it back into the yard. Don't forget, Casey and I will be live tomorrow together. Going to try and get some live drone action in. Not sure where we're going to go. And then tomorrow night, Best of the Rails. Always a fun time. Live show from the studio. So everybody, make your plans. Set your notifications. If you've not subscribed, do so now so you don't forget. And then you'll hear the next time we are live or on the air or whatever. And that kind of is it. But like I said, get your catches for the weekend. Railmoments.com. Videos up to 30 seconds. No music. Your stills. Favorite graffiti. Favorite locomotive. Train action. Train related. You name it. Whatever you find that's train related, that's interesting to you, send it on in, including graffiti. So everybody, have a great afternoon. Make sure you tell the one that you love how much they mean to you, like that person did with A and C on that rail car all over it with a huge heart. Everybody have a fantastic evening, and I will see you, yes, at the next crossing as the mother and slug arrive to pull the, or I should say push, that train back in as it picks up their engineer. Everyone, that's it from Casey and I. See y'all at the next crossing.